Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. It is the last regular season we'll be doing this, because we're doing playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Booner, I don't think you because
I understand.
We've had to experience the lows, and then the highs of last year. Now we got playoffs. In this game, I can't wait to break it down. We got a packed crew here today. Booner, BMG in the audio booth. He rose from the dead on a Sunday. That's cool today.
It was a rough week. I was going through it, but I'm back.
He was on the depth chart all week with illness. Practice, no practice. Game day, he's in.
We worked him out before the game.
You what?
We worked him out.
We did it. You did.
He was a game time decision. He went through a workout, and he's ready to go. Chris Platte in the TV booth as well. We got a little piece of the network all over this play. We got Woodward Knights, Big D Energy, Heavyweights, and of course the Morning Woodward Show. Let's get into it, guys. And don't forget, I say this, and I'm going to say it more and more. Watch party right after the pregame show, about what, an hour and a half after, 1 o'clock. 12:50, 1 o'clock, and then we have the postgame show. So there's plenty more on the network to get to. Welcome everybody in the chat. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button on the stream, it does help to kind of push the show out there. So that is big time. But we'll start. Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Season finale. The Lions have an opportunity to kind of rebound after last week, and it's not like it's all of their fault, but there were some things they could have done better. But come on, Brad Allen. This is an opportunity for the Lions to take all their aggression, all their anger, all their frustration out on the Minnesota Vikings, who are out some starters this week, Booner, and they got Nick Mullins back. Yes, I said that. Nick Mullins is officially back in the starting lineup.
He threw for 450 yards. He's a dog.
Sprinkling their 4 interceptions.
In the 4 interceptions. He's going to throw 3 more today, I bet you. Me and Chris were talking about it. When we get into the gambling part of it, there's a couple props I think that stand out with that. Biggest thing today, if I'm being honest, I know they have to bounce back, get a win, get back in the win column, heading into the playoffs. Biggest thing, though, Jeff, at least to me, you have a chance to get 12 wins. No one's really talked about it. That ties the franchise record for wins of the season.
Yep.
That's incredible. That puts you as the tie for the best team ever in Lions history. So I think that's a big thing to play for. And on top of it, just getting things going. The offense last week, as much as we go at AG throughout the year about having that defense sometimes struggle, offense struggled last week at the end of the day. Besides that last drive and one other drive throughout the game, the offense struggled. I just want to see get things back in rhythm for the playoffs next week. Use this game, whether it's the first half, first 3 quarters, whenever these starters are playing, use this to kind of elevate yourself and get back into that rhythm that you've been in all year and kind of move on from that last Dallas game. Because the offense was brutal last week at the end of the day.
Do you think, though, and I want to get into this part of it, like obviously the decision to play the guys and not rest. Do you think that them playing through this, playing with that passion, like they're going to play hard because of how that Dallas Cowboys game ended? Do you think it's smarter for them to have that aggression and bring that out in this game that doesn't matter as much as, say, like letting these starters sit and then they have to sit with that another week before the playoffs? Like, would you rather them play with this uncontrollable rage that they're going to play today in this game, or would you have rather saved that for the playoffs?
Well, I think of it like this. The Lions can absolutely not afford, and I think this goes for across every NFL team, to go into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak. So that's why you could make an argument, and we'll see. It'd mostly be a hindsight argument if someone gets hurt.
Right.
But if you rest players and you lose to the Vikings, although you could argue, well, the guys are getting rest, I just don't like that. And I don't think Dan likes that. I think that's why a majority, and we already know his mentality about these guys, and they'll stop playing when they're finished. That's what he said. But I think going into the playoffs, even if they won last week, I still think he would want those guys out there. There's something about getting a win right before the playoffs, getting some guys back and staying in a rhythm. I
think that's the biggest thing is getting guys in the rhythm. Like, I'm not going to be mad at all if they end up getting guys taken out, because I don't want any. Like, you do not want injuries today. Like, that is the number one thing. Right. And that was why I was actually worried about. I know the 2 seed's still there if things happen, and it's a kind of an outside chance. And I've said this week, Jeff. Like, what percentage of Lions games this year have guys not gotten injured? Like every game we've played, there's been a guy that comes out with an injury. Like, and that's what you don't want. So if you can find a way, maybe play these guys for a half, and if you get through a half and you're winning the game and you have no injuries, you got in your rhythm, pull them out. That's where I'm at with it. It's like if you're in a rhythm and you're winning the game and you have no injuries, get guys out of the game and win the football. Let Teddy Two Gloves go out there and finish the game, because we know he can. But yeah, I think the rhythm, that's to me the number one key today. Like, you have to get back in the win column, feel that, get these guys back in a rhythm. C.J. Gardner-Johnson's returning, Aleem McNeil. Let that defense feel like play as one, get back together, and kind of get that chemistry back before next week, because it's hard to do that within. Like, if you waited until next week for that whole defense with C.J. and them to play, it's hard to like get that chemistry back. Now you have like a game. It's like a preseason game basically for those guys to be able to get back and play with Hutch and play with those guys.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing too with this whole thing and why I understand it is, unlike other teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, for example, which they have a much more proven track record, they can afford, okay, we're going to rest a Patrick Mahomes, we're going to rest a Chris Jones, whoever they want to rest, because they know, well, we've seen results in the postseason. This Lions team is still young. They still haven't technically, during Dan's tenure, accomplished anything in the postseason. They won a division. But to me, and I know it sounds cliche, but they haven't really earned the right to rest, in my opinion. Like, you have the Ravens, who, remember when Lamar won his MVP that season, they rested him the final game of the season. What happened in the first game of the playoffs? Tennessee smacked him right in the face. And then you have the Packers. They rested Aaron Rodgers, I believe, when he won the MVP. What happened? Got smacked right in the face in the first round. Not saying it's directly correlated, but there is something to your point, Booner, about keeping guys in rhythm. Yeah. Like, when they miss a game and come right back and it's a playoff environment, things are different, especially like you said for this offense. I think it's good to get a home game. They got the banner hung up. Some guys are going to hit their incentives. I don't know if the starters will play till the clock hits zero.
I agree.
Hopefully, because you'll be up a couple scores, but they're going to play. I think we could bet on, if we were saying over under 2.5 quarters, I might say over.
Especially when you're coming off a loss in Dallas. Like, you're coming off a loss again. Like, that offense, they had how many good drives did they have last week? Like, that is, to me, that's the thing. It's like the Ravens and all them, they can rest their guys. And it's crazy, too, because some of those are 1 seeds. They're not just resting this week. They get next week off as well.
Right.
So they're sitting 2 weeks and then like, that is not a recipe for success. I'm with you 100%, though. I think you need to let your guys stay in a rhythm, play football. Don't, like, you're mid-season right now. You don't just stop playing football. That's when guys get hurt and stuff. So let them get out there, get the feel of the game, get back in their rhythm, feel good for next week, going into next week off a win.
Like in this comment too, and I knew it would trigger some people. This comment says, haven't earned the right to rest is crazy. So we win a division title, and now we chill and kick our feet back and we rest the players. Guys,
I mean, that's not the Dan Campbell way. What are we talking about?
That's not what Dan Campbell's going to do. That's not who he is. We know
what Dan Campbell is and what he's about.
No.
He's not resting guys.
And that's how it should be to me. Again, the Rams, they're resting Matthew Stafford. What did the Rams do a couple years ago?
Yeah.
They won the effing Super Bowl. Like, that's the point I'm trying to make here. So I have no problem with it, Chris and Mike. I have no problem with it at all. I think it's more beneficial to this offense. Keep those guys in a rhythm. Obviously, the number one thing is getting everybody out healthy. That's why I believe still, because this game it does mean something. If the Eagles and Cowboys both lose, they're both on the road, which
I would say this.
However you feel about that, if they both lose and the Lions win, you get the 2 seed.
What would happen if you didn't play your starters? The Lions lose and those two teams lose, and you could have had the 2 seed.
That's true.
That's an issue.
Also true.
And it's not like crazy thinking they would lose or those two teams can lose. We know what the Cowboys are. They choke at this time of the year, and the Eagles have been bad, and they've lost to bad teams. They lost to both of these teams lost to the Cardinals. Like, these teams can lose. It's an outside chance, yes, but what would happen if those two teams lost? You played your backups and you lose to the Vikings? And then you could have controlled your own destiny and you didn't get the job done. That's, I think, where Dan's kind of his mindset is today.
And look at some of the incentives, which we'll get to with Booner's bets, because, parlays can be a little tricky today. Because
there's no props out there.
Yeah, there's no props.
It's unbelievable.
But I'm telling you what, some sleeper TDs, Booner.
I've got touchdowns, and I do have a player. There's a player prop out there that the people are going to love.
And we got BMG in the studio here to kind of help us with that as well. He's got the incentives already. He's been out. He's been bedridden, but he's also been taking notes while he's coughing in his bed. So he's also taking notes, looking up incentives. He knows guys that need to make money. And I think that's an important factor when you talk about the last game of the season. So let's go to break. When we come back, we'll talk about the matchups, Lions offense, Vikings defense, all that and much more. You're tuning into the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network, brought to you by our friends over at Bullseye Event Group and Long Drink.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome back. Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, last game of the regular season. We'll be breaking it all down. Booner and his Booner Path nonsense. He's got his little trophy.
The Path, baby!
No, I'm just kidding. I'm in support.
You
do what you want to do.
You are in support, but you are a part of the 2024 recruiting class.
That is true. I signed my official letter.
You have not, yeah, you
of
have
intent
signed.
to commit to the University of the Booner Path.
There's still some visits that have to happen.
Yeah. We have to iron out a couple things with the NIL and all that stuff, but I think I'm officially on board.
I have a couple visits coming up as well. Spencer Raxter will be on a visit in a couple weeks.
Spencer Raxter.
Yep.
This isn't like a visit like when we went to the Michigan game. Like you were trying to recruit me to be a Michigan fan.
It is a visit to the Booner Path. I will take.
Okay.
We'll go out. We'll go to a couple places, do a couple things. I'm hoping to recruit some big time people in the off season.
This guy's good, Chris.
This guy's great.
This guy's elite.
I'm hoping to recruit some people.
This guy's money.
Yeah, he really is.
I would like to get a couple Lions players recruitments or something. Maybe I can get us a free agent in Detroit.
You are a hell of a recruiter, Booner. You are.
No Kizzy.
No, well, you know what? I sign off on that.
Yeah.
I sign off on that, Chris. Let's get into it. Lions offense. We talked about it a little bit last segment about how they do need. In my opinion, they don't need it, but it'd be nice to have a good showing from this offense before the playoffs. Even if they don't have a great showing, I'm not going to sit here and say, call in. Is there a problem with this Lions offense? No, I have faith they're going to be just fine, especially they'll be at home and for that home playoff game. But I'll tell you what, Penei Sewell, what he did to Danielle Hunter last game in Minnesota, he basically just eliminated him. Houdini, poof. Danielle Hunter was gone. That's all he wrote. He made some plays in the run game, but Penei Sewell has been on a tear this season. And I think it's going to be the same thing. We talked about this run game last week. Jahmyr Gibbs missed a lot of, he missed for a lot of people's parlays, didn't hit his over 51 and a half yards. I think he had 40-something. It's a sad day. Luckily, your boy had 40 yards, so I ended up hitting. But regardless, I think this week, that offensive line, not only in pass pro, but in the run game, Booner,
yes.
Yeah, Vikings 9th best run defense, but you also have two backs that could go for 1,000 a day. Whew. 25 from David Montgomery, 85 from Jahmyr Gibbs. Booner, I got faith they can hit it tonight. And Ben Johnson already kind of spoke on it. They're aware of it.
Yep.
Jahmyr will get the opportunity. It's just about if he can capitalize. And this is a guy who's up there for 20-plus yard gains. Booner, I think they both hit 1,000 today. It'll be the 6th time in NFL history since 2009, I believe.
And on top of that, real quick, I'm pretty sure if that does happen, or actually, no, it doesn't. Never mind. Take that back, Booner. rewind. But with that, Ben Johnson did talk to the media this week, and they asked him that question. It's like, hey, are you guys, obviously you guys are aware of this. Is this something you're pushing for? He said there's two things that they want to do for this team. It's one, we want to win games. That's one overall. That is it. Want to win football games. But number two, we're here to help the players out and let them do things like that. And that's exactly what I think they're going to do today. If you look at the last time they played the Vikings, all David Montgomery needs, 25 yards. He had 55 versus them last time.
Yep.
All Jahmyr Gibbs needs, 85 yards. He had 80 versus them last time, I think on like 15 or 16 carries. You give him a couple extra carries, let him get that. I think they get the job done today. I think they're going to try and ground and pound the first half to see if they can get it done. And then as the game evolves, figure out and get that kind of mark for them. I think they both get it, if I'm being completely honest. A little tease ahead to the Booner's legacy play, and maybe one of these running backs to get that. And maybe. There's only a couple player props out today, and luckily one of them is one of those guys, and that may or may not be the legacy play today. Because I truly believe they both get 1,000.
Chris, could you put a poll up? Will both backs hit 1,000 today? Because I think that's it really comes down to Jahmyr Gibbs 85. Because are you kidding me? David Montgomery 25 yards is a guarantee. Mike, guarantee 25 yards from Montgomery. But Jahmyr 85 though, drive. It's doable.
Yeah, no,
it's doable.
David Montgomery will have it on the first drive. I think Jahmyr Gibbs all likely will get that, and I think the team, like Booner said, Ben Johnson and them will look out for him, and he'll get that. It's just a matter of if the Lions are blowing them out, do they take those guys out early? But right. I think if Jahmyr Gibbs gets the carries and the situation is going right, he'll get that 85. I think so. Yeah,
because he can get. I mean, the guy can break off for a third. I mean, you see what he did last game in Minnesota.
Yeah.
The move. I don't know who it was. Either some corner safety. I don't know who it was. Juked him out of his cleats.
Ooh.
Rip.
I posted that last night. He had 15 carries last time. If you give him 15, he's going to get 85 again. I guarantee that. He's going to have a couple break-off runs. No?
No, yeah. I'm just crunching the numbers. No, I'm just crunching the number. 15 carries.
So he had 15 for 80 last time, 5.3 per carry.
Yeah, you could do that.
I mean, the 2 games before that, he had 11 and 11. He had 166. Or 100 and then 66. So I think today he knows that he's going to be like this is going to be the hardest he runs today. Just knowing that that's kind of in the like right there, like he can just grab it. What's crazy too about that? He missed 2 games this year. Mm-hmm. David Montgomery missed multiple games. Like these guys miss games and they're both about to hit 1,000. You know who that really shows in like who really probably takes pride in that is that offensive line up front. Like knowing that hey we dominate so much. We have two running backs in our backfield that have a chance to get 1,000 yards. I said on Woodward Nights, do you remember that little streak right before Reggie Bush where the Lions had no 1,000-yard rushers for like a long time? They had no rushers that could rush for 100 yards in a game. Do you remember that?
Well, they didn't, and they also didn't have this offensive line.
They didn't, but like just remember how long we went in Detroit without just one 1,000-yard rusher.
You're right.
Or one running back that could rush for 100 yards a game. Now we have 2 guys and a great it's crazy the kind of that turnaround and the difference that some things make.
And that's when you get competent people running this organization.
Yes.
They understand what you need to do.
Yes.
And you have 2 dynamic running backs. I think they're the best. I've been saying this, the best backfield in the NFL. I made an argument they were top 5 before the season. I was being too disrespectful. They're top 2, not 2. They're 1. And that's impressive because this offensive line, I think right now with how they're playing, Booner, they're number 1.
Yes.
I think they have the number 1 offensive line with the number 1 backfield. And that can sustain drop. I mean, that's a recipe for playoff success. You have those 2 guys that can you can just physically wear down opposing defenses. Good luck with that. And then in pass protection, you got Penei Sewell, who just, I don't know, casually sits there and just doesn't allow a sack. Like, that's impressive.
Versus the best in the league.
Not just, like the best.
The best in the league. Every time he goes up against the best in the league, he dominates and doesn't allow any sack. Like, it's unbelievable. That's where I think, like, the advantage in the playoffs, like you just said, like, that's where this comes. I'm interested today to see how long this O-line plays. I'm very interested.
Me too.
I know we want to get the 1,000. I'm interested to see if Colby gets in, like who's going to get rotated, if Skip gets in a little bit. Penei.
Just get a pissed off Skipper in there.
Oh my gosh! Did you see Did you guys see that video of him? Like the mic'd up version of him? Like dude, he is first of all off the field, nicest dude ever. Like one of the best dudes ever. Him on the field when he was yelling. There is 0 chance. He's like 6'7", 0 chance.
He's like 6'10".
I would ever mess with him. Like when he was yelling there, I was like, that's the most intimidating dude I've ever seen in my life.
What if he just came up to you and said, hey, the Booner path is stupid? What would you say to him?
I would go back at him. I'm the leader of the Booner pack.
That's
for
fair.
the people.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I mean, no matter what. I mean, if it's like, I don't know, like.
No, he would never say that.
If like the biggest person in the world came up to me, I mean, I'm the leader. I would be a loser if I didn't stick up for the people that are following me. Am I wrong?
I mean,
I would have to be like, come on, Skip.
You're not.
Get in line. You're in the Booner pack.
Why is Booner like Charles Manson? Like,
I don't even know
who
what
is
that
this
is.
man?
I don't even know what Charles Manson
man.
is.
That's tough.
Well, let's move
That's
on.
tough.
We'll move on from that. It's kind of a messed up joke, but regardless,
Yeah, dude, give me
Dan
someone.
Skipper would
Come
actually
on.
like your path. I'm gonna be honest with you. He would.
Dan Skipper would love
he
it.
would
Maybe
like it.
he's part of the 2024 recruiting class for the
Yeah,
Booner
that's
pack.
fair. That's a big signing. He's about the same size as Jalen Duren, and he's out there playing.
And
off
he's
it.
huge too.
Yeah, he's that man's built different. I'm gonna go through some of the injuries because the official inactive list is not out yet. We'll get to it when it officially comes out, but we'll just talk about who's been practicing all week and who hasn't. So we'll start with the Detroit Lions. James Houston had a light practice all week, but he's ruled out. His first game will be the playoff game next weekend. Jamison Williams, he's not playing. He did not practice all week. He's dealing with an ankle injury. He sustained that on the big play he made against the Cowboys. So he is ruled out for this game as well. Brock Wright is ruled out with a hip injury. C.J. Gardner-Johnson officially back. And you saw some... And we're going to get into that, his comments that came out yesterday, because I got some things I want to speak on with that as well. I know people kind of overreacted a little bit, and I want to speak and defend my guy Easy a little bit, because I think what he said got taken way out of context, in my opinion. And we'll get to that. Benito Jones, questionable, assuming he'll play. Lee McNeil's back officially. Taylor Decker and the rest of the guys are going to be playing as well. So it is good. You get CJ back. You get Aleem back. Here we go, Booner. Those are the guys you started this thing with. They were the focal point there. People chiming in here. Hello, name says J-Mo's fine, just resting. Yeah, I mean it's an ankle. He'll be fine. It's a little ankle
but I mean,
injury.
like it's his ankle. What is J-Mo's like superpower? It's his speed.
Absolutely.
So if you have to rest him.
You don't want him to be compromised.
No, in the playoffs, you do not want that ankle. You want that to be 100% because that is what his whole thing is how fast and how quick he is. So you have to rest him. The Aleem thing, that's what I'm excited to see Aleem and CJ, to be honest. The CJ, and I know we're going to get into this maybe next segment or whenever it is. CJ, obviously, he's like the heart of the voice of that team. And then Aleem, we know, like, obviously no bugs, but we know that, like, what that defensive line is like and that rush defense is like with Aleem. And Aleem's been getting to the quarterback, and he's been pressuring the quarterback. And when it comes down to it, you can have Hutch and whoever it is on the other side, but with Aleem, man, like, you have to have pressure up the middle. That's what Aleem brings. Like, he helps Hutch out with that. Like, the quarterback's not coming up the middle. Helps out a ton.
I think they've been able to.
It's a game changer.
I think they've been able to kind of hold up the run defense without Aleem. But
Yes.
like you said, what they've been missing is Aleem's ability to rush the passer. Like Benito Jones,
he's elite at it too.
Yes,
like
he is.
At least this year, he has been elite at it, and he's shown it.
That's the biggest step he's taken. Jordan Schaefer says, I'm going to get to his comment because he. Let me see.
Well, I got a question.
Real quick, I thought
Go ahead.
Braylon was supposed to be on the show this week. He is in Houston. He's in H-Town. He's going to the national
Go
championship
Blue,
game.
baby!
I just want to make that clear. So Braylon, he's got bigger fish to fry. But what's up, Braylon?
No, I was just my thing is James Houston. Like, that return has been teased a lot. We've been very hopeful that he was going to get some type of regular season stats before the playoffs, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So, what are fair expectations for him when he does come back? If he even comes back, because right now he's out this week. So, I mean, what's the chances he even plays next week in the playoffs?
So, I think I've spoke on this to you guys as well on Woodward Nights. I've said this on the Morning Woodward Show with James Houston. I don't know if Lions fans would agree with this. If you do, please. Because I know some are expecting James Houston to come back and be sack a game James Houston. I just don't know if that's fair, to expect that out of James Houston, who last year was lightning in a bottle. I think he's still a good player. But can he come back and immediately just get a sack? I don't know. Coming off an injury that he put him out for 95% of the year.
And a mobility injury, too.
Two things. I have a couple things
on
with
special
that.
teams, too.
Yes, so I have a couple things with that. First of all, this year, the reason, like, when he first started the season, he was getting to the quarterback, not having this. Don't forget, fellas, AG did take him and put him. He switched his position. He tried to put him at the wheel, like he switched it and tried to put him in a different spot. I don't know if you guys heard the kind of conversation that James Houston has had with reporters, but he did mention, and no one's really kind of spoke about this, but I don't know if this was a serious thing, but he did mention, when I come back, I'm going to be at my normal spot, and I'm going to be going at the quarterback like I'm used to doing. That was something when he got drafted. Deion Sanders, if you watch the Deion Sanders behind the scenes thing, said, hey, James, we're taking you off the line. Like, he was a linebacker in college. We're moving you to DN because that's where you're going to be great at in the NFL. Oh, Jeff, oof.
My bad.
That's what you're going to be great at in the NFL. He was great at that last year at the edge, right? Got switched this year to start. I think when he comes back, you throw him just back at the edge. Let him just be him. Let him go out there and be him. And I do get, yes, he's coming off a major injury that does affect his mobility with dipping and doing all that. I think this extra time that he's taken is helping him get back to 100%. So when he does return, it's not like, hey, we need to work him. Like, no, he returns and he is 100% ready to go. And I think that's why because his expected date was 2 or 3 weeks ago when he was supposed to return. You guys were like, when he was supposed to be back 2 or 3 weeks ago, that was the kind of the end goal. I think there may have been a little setback, or it was, hey, when he started going at a full speed, realized, hey, I'm not 100% yet. I can't dip yet. I can't do this. Let's take a couple more weeks and be ready for the playoffs. So I think when he does return, he might not be a sack a game guy, but he's going to go out there and he's going to affect the game in a way that no one else besides Aiden Hutchinson has been able to affect the game yet. Like, he's going to be, in my opinion, your second best pass rusher outside of Aiden Hutchinson. And I know he's coming off the injury, but when you put him at that edge position where he is supposed to be at and not putting him at that will spot or whatever it was, no. Put him at edge, let him go out there and play. And I think he's still going to be able to affect the game more than any other person besides Aiden Hutchinson on the team.
And I think that's
edge rusher.
And I don't hate it because you should have confidence. I mean, he's a great player. And he showed last year what he can do rushing the passer. There's just something about getting your confidence back. He missed most of the season. Like, he has to go out there, and once he does get out there and he wins some one-on-ones, he might be like, all right, I'm back. But when you miss a majority of the season, you get thrown into that type of environment, Chris. Yeah. That's why I'm like...
That's where I'm at with it, too, is more so I trust the health, because this regime has showed with their injury management throughout the year that they're not going to put a player back there unless they are 100% ready.
Right.
They've done a very good job, I think, among the best in the NFL at taking care of their injuries in the Lions. But my worry is the rust side of it, is the getting back in the swing of things. I don't know if it's as simple because it's just, hey, go get the quarterback, that he won't have to experience some of the rust that other players experience. But that's the part that worries me. That's why I wanted him. I was all for bench the starters, but give Houston some reps in this game if he was able to go, so that way he can kind of shake that rust off. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, and I just wonder if come playoff time, I think he will be an addition. He will be an addition. He will no doubt help, but I just worry, like you said, expectations might be too high for him coming back.
Yeah, he's not going to do what he did last. Like, maybe he will, but I just don't. Like, I'm with you guys. I don't think he goes out there and does exactly what he did last year. He's going to affect the game more than some other guys have.
And they need it.
And that's what you've needed.
Yeah, you do. You need a more consistent pass rush, and Aiden playing the way he did, like he did last week. Yes, that could help. But if he has another guy that could win one-on-ones, and you got to lean back, it does definitely help. This comment here. It's a little aggressive, but I'm going to read it anyway. Flick Story Entertainment. I think it's time to move on with James Houston. You could replace production with a draft pick. Listen, I'm not no guru, but I'll tell you this, Flicks. We've seen a small sample size of James Houston, but if you can point me to a player that can get a sack a game, I'm listening. Yeah. Like, I'm listening. I mean,
outside, what other edge rushers on our teams, like, you can move on? Yeah, you can go.
I just think right now to say move on is crazy. If you had a 2 or 3 year sample size and you're like, well, you're lightning in a bottle, and then he kind of fell off, we could talk. But so far, he's a sack a game guy. I'll wait. If you point me in the direction of another guy who can do that, I'm here. I'll listen.
He's our second best pass rusher on this team when he's healthy. He's your second best guy, and you're not paying him. You're not out here paying him 10, 50. Like, you're not going to have to sign. I don't think, at least, and I could be wrong, I don't think you're going to have to sign him to a crazy contract.
No.
Like,
I don't think so either.
He just came off an injury. Like, you're not going to have to do that. If he played really well like he did last year, this year, then maybe you would have to. But he's coming off an injury. He's already proven what he could do when he is healthy. Moving on for a cheap, like, there's just no point. He's your second best pass rusher. There's guys that are on the payroll right now that are costing you tens of millions of dollars. Like, Quora Brothers, Charles Harris, like, there are guys out there who are costing you money, that are going to be off the books this year. And you're going to be able to draft and replace those guys. And the guys that you want to replace James Houston with in the draft, you can have Hutch, James Houston, and those guys you want to replace him with, and you can go out and get free agents. Like, there's no reason. James Houston is not a guy to move on from.
He can be worst case scenario. He can be an elite depth piece.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like a top tier. You put him in on this third down and he gets one sack, and that's where I want Lions fans to look at his return is. Listen, if this guy gets one sack in the Lions' first home playoff win, like does that in and of itself is enough? Like you don't have to put him at the standard of this guy is a sack a game guy, or like if he could just have moments, if he can deliver moments for you, that's right now where your expectations should be, because he did miss basically an entire season. So
yeah, and when I say so far he is a sack a game guy, obviously he's not going to get 17 at a minimum sacks per year.
By the numbers.
But so far with the sample size we have, he is a sack a game guy. So I think it's too premature to be like, hurt most of the season, see you later. You could come in, Tyson Alualu, you can come right in. No, like James Houston's fine. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, we'll talk about this defense. Justin Jefferson, I think he needs like 100-something yards to get 1,000, and that's something he takes pride in. He missed most of the season. He wants to get paid.
Yep.
What's Cam Sutton gonna do? You look at not just Cam Sutton, but this past defense for the Lions. You got Justin Jefferson going for over 100 yards, and then you got CeeDee Lamb going for 200 yards. What are they gonna do now against Justin Jefferson again? Because I do think we talk about momentum and all that. At least containing a number one receiver, I think they kind of need that going into the playoffs. I don't think you need another guy getting 200 yards. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you play Dallas again. You need to figure that out.
All right, let's go to break. Like I said, when we come back, we'll talk more about that. And then we'll get into Booner's bets and then we'll talk the CD Do stuff. Because, again, I do want to get to that. Because I think, I want to clear the air on that. Now that we're I think we're the first show that's gotten to talk about it now. Besides,
we broke it on Woodward Nights.
Oh, you did?
It all happened during Woodward Nights. We did three segments on it.
The first pregame show we've been able to talk about.
Yes.
So there you go. All right, you're tuning into the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Again, thank you to our friends over at Bullseye Event Group, which you can still head down to if you're not already down there. I think Easy's down there. I think Brandon's going down there. Brandon Dent. It'll be a lot of fun. Woodward Sports is down there. If you got tickets to the VIP tailgate, then, again, go check that out and say what's up. And our friends over at Long Drake. We'll see you guys right after the break.
But two vehicles of your choice. One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Welcome back to the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for tuning
Lions,
in.
baby.
Man, oh man, let's get into it. Lions defense, who actually played a lot better last week.
Very good.
And now you got the momentum, right? The Lions defense plays well. AG's number one on the defensive coordinators that players voted who they enjoy playing for the most. It seems like, this defense and AG getting a little bit of momentum this week. And now you get to face a backup quarterback in Nick Mullins, who is a journeyman for a reason. You forced 4 turnovers against him. You almost had it seemed like a fumble return for a touchdown, but Kaminsky just has butterfingers. He couldn't pick it up. But regardless, hopefully if that happens again, they don't make the same mistake. But I think this is an opportunity, Booner, for not only this defense with Liam and CJ back, but to show what they showed week 1. when you had a healthy defense, obviously James Houston won't be there, but this is why you signed a C.J. Gardner-Johnson, right? To make an impact. And now Iffy is coming back into the lineup, and we could honestly just get into the CJ stuff kind of right now because, and this is why I think it's a great thing for the secondary to get CJ back. You get a guy who brings a ton of energy. He is already one of your best playmakers. You look at his career in totality. He's a playmaker, and he is a leader. He's going to hold guys accountable. That's just what he does, and I love that. I absolutely love that. A guy who's played in a Super Bowl. He's led the league in interceptions. He's done a lot of great things in this league. This young defense, especially, needs a guy like that on the field. He's going to bring the energy, bring the juice, and like I said, hold the guys accountable. And you look at the secondary they currently have, especially at safety. You have Brian Branch, Tracy Walker, Iffy, Kirby Joseph, and now C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And you have guys that can play multiple positions. You can put a C.J. Gardner-Johnson or a Brian Branch in the slot, which Brian seems to be playing a lot more in the slot. You can do so many more things. I know you prefer some of that depth to be at corner, which they don't have a ton of. But to me, this is a great thing. And I know when the comment came out, and I want to read it verbatim so I don't get it twisted here. And it was an article that was written kind of about what was being said and CJ's thoughts and his quote, and I'll read it directly. Getting into a rotation, I'm cool with that. But I ain't get back to being a rotation. I'm going to give you a grace period, but after that, it's up. And people, that was kind of split. There's people out there that were like, oh, he's selfish. You know, like he's a problem. And then there's a lot of people like me, and I'm curious to get your guys' opinion, that was like, I love it. The guy's a dog. He's a competitor. Yeah. And if you're shocked by what he said, you really don't understand what an athlete, a professional athlete on his level thinks. C.J. Gardner-Johnson signed a 1-year extension here for a reason, to prove he's that dude. And now, unfortunately, he missed it most of the season. But he's that guy, and he should feel like he's that guy. Yeah. So if you think, do you prefer CJ to be like, I'm cool with being in a rotation. I just want to contribute wherever I want to contribute? No. I want him to be like, get me on the field. It's the same reason why we praise a guy like Ocho Cinco for saying, give me the rock. It's the same thing for a defensive back. Get me on the field. I want to make plays. I don't mind it at all. Do I think he's going to be a problem? No. I think he's a great teammate. I think you see him on the sideline. You see him in the locker room. He tweets out, Lions get a big win. He's on the sideline, or he's at his house watching, and he's still supporting the Lions.
He's going live.
You can't. He's going live. You can. Remember, he was hyping up Aiden when Aiden had a big game. You cannot question his locker room presence. He's a great teammate. But man, oh man, with him on the field, that helps the Lions. This is a great problem to have. It really is.
Jeff, everything you said there on Woodward nights when all of this was going down, things were breaking. He was actually tweeting Woodward Sports. That was the main thing that I said was C.J. Gardner-Johnson is one of the best in the league. This isn't like, yes, I know Iffy has had a great stretch of football, and he's going to continue to do that. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has been proven for the last 5 years to be one of the best at his positions year in, year out, whether it's after an injury, before, like whatever it is. He has been proven to do that on the field, Jeff, and off the field. And I said exactly what you said there on Friday night when all this broke. And I said, would you rather a guy like him be like, hey, guess what? No, we can do a rotation. We'll let the other guys play. Hey, no, you want a dude like that in your locker room, pushing other dudes, because all this does is, one, you know what he is. He is one of the best in the league, and he is one of the biggest competitors in the league. I don't care what comes. He is one of the best. He is going to elevate the whole team. That whole secondary gets better when he's in the building. And I said this a couple as well. The last 3 weeks, how many turnovers had the Detroit Lions defense forced in the last 3 weeks? 7 turnovers. Guess who's been in the building at every practice, talking, getting guys right? C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And I'm not saying he's not on the field doing that, so I know that's not it. But at the end of the day, guess what? When he's in the building vocally, in the locker room, on the practice field, when they're going over set, doing everything, CJ's one of the, and you can ask Broder this because he's at practices. He is one of the loudest guys talking, letting guys know, getting guys hyped up. That's not a coincidence that one of your biggest leaders comes back in the building and that defense starts to turn things around. Right. That is not a coincidence at all. You want a guy like him in Detroit. He needs to be signed. Like, he needs to be here next year. He will never be a problem in the locker room. AG has known him since high school. That competitive edge is what AG loves him for.
Absolutely.
It's because of the comment that he made. And AG knows that. And when he comes back, guess what? His play is going to show. He's going to be the best safety that we have, and he's going to be one of the best in the league, and he's going to take his spot back, and they're going to have to figure a rotation out for the other guys. That's just what it's going to end up being. And it's just because of who he is. That is the guy he is. You have an all-pro Pro Bowler on your team right now. That is him.
And people treat this man like he's a 36-year-old aging veteran, where it's like,
young.
hey, buddy, take a seat, let the young guys play. Like, dude, he's in his prime. He's in his prime. And, you know, and this is a team that over the last couple of weeks, they've been doing a better job at, but they need to keep taking the football away.
Yes.
And what does C.J. Gardner-Johnson do best?
It's weird. It's like he led the league.
Take the football away. It's weird. Yeah, it's like he led the league in picks, right? It's
in
weird.
12 games.
So, and by the way, it seems like Kirby plays better when he's out there. And now to speak on Iffy, AG's job, and this is why you pay him, and I think he'll do a great job at it, by the way, is to find a way to get these guys on the field at once. Different dime packages. Find a way to get 3 safeties out there. That's just what you have to do. And that's a coach's job. Get your best players on the field. Figure it out. And AG, I think, will do that. Now, to what Easy said, I know he took a lot of heat. And I want to kind of stick up for him because do I agree with some of what he said? No, I don't. But I will say this. His point was his worry about it possibly being a distraction, right? And okay, this is in sports, you speak your opinion. If you do your research and you feel passionate about what you say, you can make a lot of different cases. Easy's point and worry is, hey, this could potentially cause a distraction that they don't need, whatever it was. That's okay. He even came out and said, and I think Easy would even agree that he's a great player. I don't think Easy never came at him for being a bad teammate. He never said that. So I want to make that clear. I think we're all on the same page with that. I know CJ's a competitor. That's just who he is. He's fiery. That's why we love him. That's why I want him back in Detroit, because this Lions team needs a guy like that. But despite whatever happened on social media, man, all that matters is this man getting back in the lineup and making plays. And I think he'll do that.
Yeah, and real quick, too, Curtis Morey here said, let CJGJ go and clear up the cap space. That's like he doesn't even make that much money. He came on a 1-year deal. I think it's like $10 million. And you're going to, if you re-sign him, it's probably going to be something similar, maybe a little more. Like, those are, when we talk about building this culture up, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is one of those guys. Like, you want C.D. Deuce in your building. He is one of those guys that's a Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes guy, an AG guy. Those are guys that you want here in the long term. Like when you re-sign Hutch, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is, in my opinion, should be one of those guys because of what he brings to the table with kind of.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt you. I want your thoughts on this. Koke, only thing this dude's done for us is put on a stupid ski mask. Nobody likes a noisy backup, he also says. Okay. Koke, we appreciate your presence. I want to get that.
Always.
I want to get that just straight. We appreciate your presence. Thank you for tuning into the pregame show. Number 2, you couldn't be more wrong. With who C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you just couldn't be more wrong. And I got a lot of love for you. But if you think that C.J. is a career backup or he's just a backup, I would do me a favor. Sit back, maybe get some coffee, sit back, go on your TV, go to the YouTube app, and just click on C.J. Gardner-Johnson highlights in his career and just sit back and enjoy it. Just watch. Because I'm telling you one thing, that dude's not a backup. He's just not. So appreciate your presence, but hell no. You want him on the field. I think once you see him play, you'll agree with that. Let's go to break. Let's get into Booner's bets, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. And shout out to our friends over at Bullseye Event Group and Long Drink.
Oh, yeah. Nothing. G-G-G-G-A. Oh, sorry, I forgot. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy. I think we need to get you a pick.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
What up, though, people? It's your boy Brandon Day, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, and we are live at the Lions official VIP tailgate, and I'm with Detroit's DJ and the official DJ of this event, DJ Don Mecca. First, brother, before we get into this game, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. Happy New Year. It's good to be back. Good to see you back, too, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Speaks last week. You know, good to meet him, and let's get it today, man. It's prime time. Let's close it out. Season finale.
Hey, yeah, listen, man, the Lions and the Vikings. Now, the Lions, they haven't beaten any of their NFC North opponents this year twice. They actually have the opportunity to do that today if they can beat the Vikings at home at Ford Field. And they have an opportunity to be one of the, I think, the only contender to have not lost back-to-back games all season. So it's a little bit riding on this. Now, Dan Campbell said that the team is going to be angry. They're going to be inspired. They're on that kind of octane, that fuel after what happened in Dallas, and they want to be able to go into the playoffs, honestly, on a hot streak, man, on a high note. Now, we know at the Vikings on the other end, they got Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, phenom, man, out there. We saw what CeeDee Lamb did to the Lions secondary, but the Lions have C.J. Gardner-Johnson, shout out C.D. Deuce, on the way back, man. What do you think, though, is your key for this Lions defense to slow down the Vikings?
I think they just need to do a great recipe of exactly what they did last time. Just clean up some things. If they play like they played in Dallas, that'd be phenomenal. You know what I mean? I think everything is clicking. Always, we got Hutch. I think he's going to have a big game as well. I think we're going to have a healthy mix of our starters. I do think there's going to be maybe get some reserves in depending on how we go in the beginning. We don't have the luxury of seeing what everybody else is doing right during the game, but we still have a chance to maybe get a higher seed. It's a shot. So I think Dan Campbell's going to be very aggressive today.
I like that. And that's honestly, the more and more the season has gone on, aggressiveness has been his middle name, man. It's been the calling card of this team all season, and I'm hoping that they continue it. Now, as we move to the offensive side of the ball, what exactly are you looking forward to? Now, they have a couple players here who can reach 1,000 yards on the season, one of them being Jahmyr Gibbs. He's 85 yards away. What are you hoping to see from this offense today?
Well, I know they've been talking about it, and I know they personally said that they would like to do that for the city of Detroit and the organization. And I think that's just what they're going to do. I think they're going to take some pressure off Goff today as well. I don't think Minnesota, they haven't been able to, off the last game, been able to contend with our run game. So I think that's what they're going to go for. Take some pressure off Goff today. And again, we're already in, but you never know. We could get that last bid, and depending on what happens around the league, there's a lot to play for today.
Well, I love the optimism. Before I let you go, because I know you got to go and get this thing jumping. It'll be over 1,000 to 2,000 people here today. It's always a fun time here. Shout out to Bullseye Event Group. But I need to know your player of the game and the final score prediction.
I'm going to go with Gibbs today. I think he's going to get that. And I'm going to go with, let's say, 28-14. I think that's what the score is going to be today.
I like it. 28-14. That means this thing is not going to be close. Hopefully the Lions handle business early, able to maybe get some reserves in there late. And honestly, just a feel-good day at Ford Field. I know they do have the NFC North Division banner there to be the first time that fans walk in and see that. So go out there, fans. Be loud, be raucous. You know the Lions are going to bring it, man. I can't wait. Once again, it's your boy Detroit Kool-Aid. We're here at the official tailgate, the Lions VIP tailgate, presented by Bullseye Event Group. And you'll always tap in with Woodward Sports.
Let's go.
Thanks, Kool-Aid. DJ Don Mecca down at Bullseye Event Group. Just kind of breaking down what's going on. He gave his opinion on Jahmyr Gibbs hitting 1,000, which I think everyone's kind of confident that it can happen. It just depends. Hey, if you rest him, it is what it is. But if he plays and gets carries, I think he'll hit it. People going back and forth about the whole CJ stuff, and it is funny. Koke says, Jeff, how good can he be if he can't start in the secondary? What are you talking about?
Wait a second.
What are we doing
There's
here?
another comment here. Shaylin Trapp said CJ gets floated from safety to nickel. He's been a rotation style player. There's nothing wrong with that. Moving positions on a defense and moving positions is not being a rotation coming out of the game. That is being able to play multiple positions and being able to be expandable and have that. Like, that isn't, that's not, just because you're rotating while you're in the game to a different spot, that is not what the rotation means. Rotation means you're coming out of the game for multiple plays, and then someone else is coming in for you, and you have to sit out. Him going from nickel to, say, like, different spots, that is not a rotation. That is just him moving spots because he's that good. He can play multiple positions and be that good on your defense.
Right.
He's not getting taken. Like, he might get taken out this week because he's coming off an injury and the playoffs are next week and you want to gradually get him back in. But I'm telling you what, when the playoffs come around and next week, and then if you win next week and the week after, that will not be like this weekend. Like he said, there's a timetable on it. That is this weekend. Let him get his feet under him. He's not going to play every snap, but a rotation within the defense. You just proved how much better he is because he can play multiple positions for you.
He can. Enough of this talk. All right, let's talk about making some bread now.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
All right, we got some
shout
people,
out the people.
We
in the
got some
chat.
people that I know, like my boy Spencer, who does a great job. By the way, he takes care of me every time I go in there. I need a haircut, but regardless, let's get the bets out there. It's very important. Even my father-in-law Steve Dara, he's out there too. He needs these bets.
Shout out Steve, man. Happy birthday too.
He turned 60. They need Booner's bets. What are we cooking up today? I know we
right.
talked about it a little bit. There's not a lot of props out there.
There's nothing out there, man.
You could even talk about maybe a prop that you know will be out there, maybe like an alternate yard, whatever it is. But what are you cooking up today, Booner?
So let's start off with the legacy play. It moved to 12-2 because last week didn't get a touchdown. This is what we're going to roll with this week. The only Detroit Lions player prop that is out this morning, if you guys went and checked, is the only, one of the best running backs in the NFL right now, Jahmyr Gibbs. And we've talked about this 1,000-yard thing. This is where I'm going with it, is he does hit 1,000 yards today. His rushing line is at 55.5. He needs 85 to hit the rushing. There's no way that they do not let him get at least 55.5 yards. And his total line for receiving and rushing is 86.5. I'm taking both of those. That's the legacy play of the day. I'm staying away from touchdowns for the legacy play, guys, just because you don't know who's going to be in, what's going to be happening in the rotations. Week 18, we don't know. All I do know is Jahmyr Gibbs is going to touch the rock a lot today.
I agree.
And if you do want to do a touchdown, that's not the legacy play, but if you want to do a Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown because he's going to have the ball in his hands, do that as well. I probably will as well. But the legacy play is Gibbs over 55.5 rushing, and then also I'm going to do another bet that's his total 86.5. The 55.5 rushing to me is one of the biggest plays I'll play of the year. There's no way he gets under 55.5.
I think he hits both. I love the total. The total yards I love too.
I do not see how he does not get 55.5. Some single bets, and if you guys tune into the stream, I know usually I have like 7 or 8 single bets for this game or for these games. There's not a lot of bets out, so I'm staying away from a lot. It's a weird week. Nick Mullins, though, he had 4 interceptions last time. His interception line over 1.5. It's plus 200. I'm gonna take that. I think especially with a guy like CJ back, Kirby, Iffy, those guys in the back end, I think those guys get some interceptions. I think Nick Mullins is going to be trying to make some things happen today. Last game of the year, trying to make the playoffs. 2 interceptions. I see him throwing 2 today. The only worry I have with that bet is if Nick Mullins gets pulled. That's the only thing.
That's true.
If they move on to Josh Dobbs, that's the only way you lose this bet is if Nick Mullins gets pulled because he throws an interception. Other one, this is kind of a whole room one that everyone's been talking about. Woodward, we posted it last night. Josh Reynolds, he has his incentives. I think he has a catch and a yards incentive as well, but they're not out yet. So when those come out, I probably will take those. But his touchdown is plus 240. I know you guys said you got it at plus 360. If he gets a touchdown today, I think he gets like $1 million or he gets like a good amount.
Well, we can go to the corpse of Michael Gentry. BMG, what do you think about
corpse?
What do you think
I don't
about
know how much. I want to say he only gets like $250K.
I got it here.
That's a pretty little penny.
So 36 yards, $250K, a touchdown, $250K.
Yeah.
That's what the incentive is.
And I love the place. I think this week.
I have one more too, by the way.
Okay, no, tell me, and then
one
I'll
more.
give my
It's
thoughts.
on the opposite side. It's on the Vikings. The Justin Jefferson thing.
Yep.
His line is 100.5. I'm taking the over on that. We know what CD just did. And this is like, I know you guys, Booner, don't bet on the. I never do this, but we saw what CD did last week. We like to make money. Justin Jefferson, Gentry was saying that he came out to the press and said, my goal this year is to hit 1,000 yards in this game. Like, I want to set out to, I've been hurt all year. The only thing I want to do is go into this game, get 1,000 yards. He needs 112 or something like that to hit it. 100.5 is his line. We're taking the over on that, just out of pure respect for winning money in gambling.
Yeah, and I like it. And I was going to say this week, out of all weeks, is a great week to kind of look up incentives, because depending on what organization you're part of, there's been stories where guys are they keep guys from hitting incentives. That's an actual thing.
Yep.
Which is messed up in itself. But I think this Lions team's a little different. I don't think they're going to strictly target incentives, but a guy like Josh Reynolds, BMG, I feel like that got to get that man a TD.
Yeah.
And he could do it.
And I feel like the running backs could get them down there so many times, and they'll get in the red zone, and they'll give Josh his opportunities. I'm not too high on the yards. What did you say it was, like 36.5?
Yeah.
That might be a little too much, but I definitely like the touchdown. I feel like if they get in the red zone, Jared will give him his looks, and it'll get him his money.
Do you guys want to know another incentive today? Khalif Raymond.
Oh,
he needs 211 yards
What?
to make 125K.
I know. I told Mike that in the car. I go, he needs like 150, 200 yards. I'm like,
on top of that,
Lock it in.
yeah,
if he gets
lock it in.
for another 125K or like 200K, 17 catches.
So,
is his other one.
we're talking 17 for about 200.
I think he needs, or maybe it's 14. I think he needs 60, and I think he has.
How about Sam
50?
Laporta? How many yards he needs for that record?
I think everybody eats today.
Everybody eats. Everybody gets their record.
Laporta's only 140 yards away from 1,000.
Yeah, he is.
And there's only in the NFL. Actually, it happened this year. San Francisco, first time ever, a tight end, running back, and a receiver has had 1,000 yards in a season. If Sam Laporta gets 140 today, that's the second time ever.
They haven't had 2,000-yard backs though. Imagine 2,000-yard receivers and 2,000-yard backs.
Woo! Hey, has someone ever? Is that a new stat?
I put that out. It's
Didn't
never
know
been
that.
done.
I thought that was the Lions that put that out.
They put that out?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna
I
say,
knew it was you.
I did. Well, they might. It's not,
I knew it was you. I was messing with you, man. Relax.
I don't own that like.
Yeah, but you
that
get your
news.
credit.
But regardless, it is a big deal. And Laporta, he got a lot of his yards last week. He actually shot to BMG.
At the end.
Shot to BMG for that.
Shout out.
I was sweating it at the end, that parlay we had. And he got the 40 in the fourth quarter in crunch time. Couple of garbage time, and not garbage time because it didn't mean something, but we hit on that. I think Laporta could have a big one too. Eric Allen says Laporta needs 217 to break the rookie tight end receiving record.
Ooh.
So Chris, hear me out.
All right,
hear me out. I want you to need validation. Okay.
All right.
Khalif Raymond, 17 catches for 200 yards, and then we'll give Laporta 15 catches for 217. F it.
That's valid.
Yeah.
And Josh Reynolds one catch.
Thank you.
And Josh Reynolds one catch, 37 yards for a touchdown.
Sprinkle a little Pistons money line in there. You're going.
Yeah.
You're going wherever you want to go in the world.
Hey,
Wherever you want to go.
The world is in the palm of your hand.
I wonder how owners like Sheila and stuff, like just around the league, kind of think about these incentives. Like I know you said, Jeff, and this is a thing in the NFL where coaches will like purposely, hey, no, you're not doing this.
Yep.
But then you see like the thing a couple years ago with Tom Brady and Gronk, where Gronk literally went up to Tom and said, Tom, I need like 2 more catches, or I need another catch to get $1 million or whatever it was. And literally I think Tom might have like audibled and just tossed it over to him real quick, got the catch and got the money. Like I wonder how like Sheila and the owners feel like when they have to give up millions and millions more, if they're like, hey Dan, let's
I don't think Sheila's
let's
like
save
that.
the checkbook. I don't think she is, but I wonder if there's owners around the league who are like,
There
hey, we need to save
is.
the checkbook. Like,
There's definitely is.
because that's wild if that's true.
And I have 2 more things I want to add here, and I want your opinion on it. Number one, I need my St. Brown 1,400-yard prediction to come to fruition. I need 50 yards, but he can mess around and get 1,500 today. And I think the Pro Bowl snub, he's pissed off.
He's going for the All-Pro.
Yeah.
He wants a game today.
He's going for the All-Pro. I think a big game for St. Brown today. I do believe that because that's just who he is. With his mindset, he's like, I'm going to go out here. I'm going to put up 100 yards. The other thing is, do you have something to say on St. Brown?
St. Brown, yes.
Yeah, okay.
9 touchdowns. Knowing St. Brown,
he wants double
10.
digits.
That was going to be one of my plays today, was a St. Brown touchdown until the Josh Reynolds things come out. But I would not be surprised in the first half if you see a St. Brown, maybe first touchdown scorer. He wants 10, especially after getting snubbed. He wants to be an All-Pro. He wants that 10.
I know we're talking about a lot of TD scores, but just kind of keeping just throwing them out there. Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Second half.
0 TDs on the season. I think he's like plus 450 on FanDuel last time I checked to get a TD. He's been targeted in the red zone a couple times. I've seen him out there. No JMO. I think he's kind of a sleeper pick as well. I want to ask you though, Booner, the spread. I hate it. Why is it minus 3.5 at home for the Lions?
I think it's just because Vegas feels like guys are going to come out of the game.
I want to put money on it.
On Lions?
On 3.5.
Maybe we do. Let's ride it.
That's just too low.
Yeah.
Vegas knows something I don't, because that is insanely too low.
It's literally week 18. You locked up your spot. They feel like maybe the Lions aren't going to play the full game.
Plus last game was close.
And the Vikings are out some players too. They got no Byron Murphy. He's out, and he's their best corner. So I think that matters. Harrison Smith, I think he had a light practice all week. He'll probably play. And Darisol's questionable. They got some guys that can miss games too. Miss this game. So 3.5 just seems weird to me.
It does. The 3.5. I'm telling you, it's literally just because of that. It's the week 18.
I'm hammering the 3.5. That's disrespectful.
Let's do it then. I'm riding. I'll ride. Let's ride.
Eric Allen says DPJ could be a second half TD score. Good call, Jeff. That's why
I love that.
I just figured, and thank you, Eric. I think the reason I'm mentioning DPJ is if guys are, let's say you're up to 2 scores, 3 scores, let's say, and they're resting guys, DPJ is going to be the first one out there, I think, and Josh Reynolds. So, yeah, it's worth it.
To be honest, too, even with that,
sprinkle.
like Khalif's going to be a guy that's going to have to play in the second half because you don't have that. Like if St. Brown and some guys come out, Khalif's going to be like that next man up where he's going to be the number 1 target. Him and DPJ. If you want to do Donovan Peoples-Jones, he's at plus 340 now. I'm looking at Khalif Raymond plus 340. James Mitchell, he's going to be in for Sam Laporta towards the end, plus 550. Those are guys that if you guys want like some touchdown scores down the stretch in the second half, if say Teddy Two Gloves does get in, I mean he's throwing to those guys. That's who kind of I would roll with. I was kind of looking for some backup Lions running backs here, but they don't have any of them on.
So to recap, kind of, so we're rolling with Jahmyr Gibbs over 55.5 rushing yards, Gibbs over 86.5 total yards, and then you're going to go Nick Mullins over 1.5 interceptions,
plus
200, which is it's plus money, so that's a nice little bet. And then a TD score, a sneaky one. We'll do Josh Reynolds.
Yep.
I like that.
Can we add in St. Brown?
St. Brown.
I want him to get a double digits.
I think Dave Montgomery scores today, to be honest with you. I think he does. We'll see Jahmyr too. I think pick one at any running back.
Just bet everyone to score a touchdown.
I do. I think this game, and we'll
just name the whole starting lineup.
Hey, I'll tell you my final score because it can happen. I'll tell you my final score because
63-7.
Hey,
jeez, man.
Hey, I'll tell you my final score. It can happen, and these are all just suggestions. And I do.
And
I like
Donovan Peoples-Jones. Don't forget Jeff gave that one out too.
I do.
Was there anyone else on the line? Jared Goff maybe.
Jared Goff rushing TD.
Touchdown?
Yes, I think Benito Jones pick 6.
I love that.
Taylor Decker will report and get a touchdown this week. He will.
Well, yeah, the ref will actually hear him and actually comprehend it and actually do the right thing. So yeah, Taylor Decker, there you go. But yeah, I just think there's a lot of it's hard because you don't know who's going to rest. That's why I got to name more. DPJ, Josh Reynolds, guys like that. Khalif Raymond, hell, all of them. Get 200 yards today. I mean, hit his incentive. F it. Let's go to break. When we come back, we'll talk more about this and give our final scores out in a little bit here. Maybe we'll go around the NFL. But first, you're tuning into the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Shout out to our friends at Bullseye Event Group and Long Drink. We'll see you guys right after the break.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
We're back. It's the Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Let's go around the NFL. Let's give some score predictions, shall we? Or just give some game predictions.
There's some things that are happening.
Yes, they are. And there are, things could happen from the result of these games. Like this is it. Some of these are super, super important. Update: the line has moved to -4 for the Lions. I'm telling you, I should have hammered it earlier at 3.5. It's up to 4 now. Let's start here. What's up?
I added into our prep there. I have some playoff scenario stuff on the third page, so if you want to, you can read those too.
Borat says Jeff is the type of guy who shops at Hollister and returns clothes to JCPenney. Oh, that's tough. That's a hell of a title. Shop at Hollister and then return it to JCPenney.
When I was in high school, middle school,
that's so specific.
I know,
like they know somebody that did that shit, and they look at you and they're like,
they probably did it themselves.
Yeah, damn, that's like oddly specific.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Booner? Sorry,
I was saying in our prep here, I put in some scenarios for playoff stuff to help you out a little bit.
Okay,
if you want to use
it.
All
right, yeah, no, well, bring it up. What do you got?
Well, I just had all these different games we did on Woodward Nights. Like, there's all these games with the different implications. Like Saints Falcons. If the Falcons win, they have a chance to still win the division if the Bucs end up losing. So they're going to be playing, and Arthur Smith is basically for his job. So like, there's just all these different implications throughout the Packers and Bears. The Packers win, they get in the playoffs.
I think Arthur Smith is just cooked. Even if he wins the game, I think he's cooked.
I don't know. If you win the game and the Bucs lose, you win the division. How do you get fired? If you win your division, even if it's bad, you won your division.
Man, I hate listening to
him
speak to the
media. You have a home
media.
playoff game. I do too. I don't like him. Not a fan.
All right, we'll start at Browns-Bengals.
All right.
What do you think? They're on the road in Cincinnati. Joe Flacco season. What do you think, Booner?
Just give me the Bengals.
You're going to go Bengals at home?
Yeah, I mean, they're 7.5-point favorites.
I think the Browns are resting
guys probably. Yeah. They don't really. They already
meaningless game. Bengals.
Yes,
okay, there
Bengals.
You go. Jags Titans, which this has implications. If the Titans beat the Jags, Texans win the division.
Yes, and the Jags win, they win the division. This is a division game for them.
Division game. They got Ryan Tannehill starting. Trevor Lawrence, is he back? That's one thing I do not know.
He is.
Yeah, I just think he's just beaten up. He's hurt.
Yeah, he is. That is one of that take of mine did not age correctly there. He is my MVP this season, and I picked the Jags in the AFC title game. So that take, it looked good at the beginning.
Still alive. I mean, they could go in the playoffs and win.
No.
Who knows?
I appreciate your optimism. See, that's the Booner. That's his aura.
Positivity. But you tell me to stop the Booner path.
No, I deal in things that are realistic. That's just how I operate, Booner. I just don't. What you're seeing from the Jags, they need a team that's going to be in the AFC title game. It's just not.
I'm going to take the Titans.
What?
Yep.
I don't actually
Mike Vrabel
hate that.
kind of fought for an extension. I don't know if he's going to get an extension. I think he ends up in New England after Belichick leaves. I think he gets that job. But I just think Vrabel's not one of those guys to just throw it in. Like, he's a guy that he's at home. Last game of the year, he's going to have these guys motivated. That defense is always going. Derrick Henry, like, they're still going to play. I think they upset the Jags today.
Yeah, I'm going to go Titans too.
But underdog at home, I think they outright win this one.
I hate you guys because I got a 9-leg parlay, and the last thing that has to hit is Jacksonville beating the Titans.
Sorry, Chris.
You know what? F it, Chris. I'm riding with you.
For 180 bones.
That Titans secondary is going to get torched. Kirk is still out, I think, but still. You know what? I'm going to go with the Jags. Why hop off the train now, right? Hell, F it. They win the division. They win the game. All right. Booner inspired me. Positivity. Vibes.
Positive vibes in 2024.
All about the vibes. All right, we're going with the Jags. F it. I'm with you, Chris.
I love that.
I can make an argument for him. Mike, what do you think? Jags, Titans.
I think I'm going to go with the underdog here. I don't think Mike Vrabel is going to give up. I don't think the Titans are going to go in there with the mindset that they're going to give up. I think Derrick Henry has a big game. I'm going with the Titans.
There you go. All right, moving on. Jets, Patriots. Who cares? This game stinks.
Give me the Patriots.
Okay, cool. Falcons, Saints. We'll move on to that game. We just mentioned it. New Orleans favored by 3. They're at home. Give me the Saints. Arthur Smith's cooked.
You guys want me to do it?
Do it.
Give me the Falcons, man.
Of course.
They have a chance. This is the team that has a chance to win the division as well. I think they're going to come out to play. I think the Falcons beat the Saints today. Put pressure on the Bucs a little bit. I truly think that. Like, if they win this game, they put pressure on the Bucs, and the Bucs. I mean, I know they're playing the Panthers, but when you have a chance to play for a division, that's when you show up. And I think the Saints actually are in the same position as well, to where they have a chance if they win and the Bucs lose. So I just think Falcons. I don't know what it is. You're acting like it's crazy. They're a 3-point dog. Like, it's not like they're like a 10-point dog.
I'm being a little extra, but still, who's stepping up exactly? Tell me.
I don't know. Just let them. They're going out there to play.
Desmond Ritter stepping up.
No,
guy's a winner.
Starting?
Oh, Heineke.
Yeah.
Oh, Heineke's.
Hold up.
You know Heineke, baby. That man wins football games. That's what he lives for.
I take back everything I said. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going with the Saints.
All
But
right, I'll take the
Heineke,
Falcons.
Heineke. I don't want to disrespect Taylor Heineke, Chris. I don't want to do it.
And I do believe Kamara's banged up. So
Who?
Kamara. I don't know if he's playing.
All right, yeah, he'll maybe should.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints. What?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Hey, nothing.
What'd you say about the Booner Path? What'd you say?
Booner Path is shining bright right now.
All right, Buccaneers, Panthers. Who cares? Moving on. Bears, Packers.
Panthers. No, I'm just kidding.
Go Panthers.
Give me the Panthers.
Tepper throws another drink on a fan. All right, moving on. Bears, Packers. Bears are on the road. They don't have anything to tactically play for. I mean, I guess they kind of do, but they don't at the same time. Packers have a lot of things to play for. And I think with the way Jordan Love's playing, give me the Packers. They're playing well. Defense is playing better. I'm going to roll with the Packers.
Do you remember last year the Packers had to win to get in the playoffs, and the Detroit Lions beat them? I heard Gentry go, but I'm going the opposite with this. The Chicago Bears are not the Detroit Lions.
Oh,
they're not even close to the Detroit Lions. The Chicago Bears,
shit on me.
bad franchise. No one cares about them. Right now, they're in a dumpster fire. They're going to have the number one pick, whatever it is. I don't care. The Packers are winning that game. FTP.
Mike's already in a body bag, and you just killed him even more.
Come
on,
You put me back down.
You put him back down.
I apologize. Packers will win that game.
I'm going with the Bears, honestly. I think it's going to be
Bears.
Like the Lions. They stopped the Packers from getting in the playoffs this year or last year. I think the Bears do the same thing, and you kind of see their team, their defense slowly turning around. I think this will be a big game for them going into next year. I got the Bears.
F the Bears, Mike.
Fuck them.
It's fair. Mike, he does agree. Chris, what do you think? Packers, Bears.
Yeah, I think the Packers will win this game. I don't think the Bears are it at all. And damn. Poor Mike Booner. This guy rested for like 4 or 5 days. Just
come back.
Load management.
Nursing health. Just trying to get back, and then Booner just kills him right first day back. That was
Didn't
tough.
expect it from you, Booner.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love you.
Mike's a part of the past.
Mike was on load. He was load managing. Now he's back, and he just gets slapped right in the face. Huh? Damn. I wish both teams could lose. I mean, that'd be cool too.
How funny would a tie be? How funny? That would be hilarious.
A tie in that game? That would be insane.
That would be funny as hell.
That would be nuts.
Next game, which I don't think anybody cares about. Jared Stidham starting for the Broncos. Who cares? Moving on. You take whoever you want. Yeah. Eagles, Giants. Let's get into the bread and butter of this whole discussion. No Tommy DeVito, unfortunately, for the Giants. They got Tyrod Taylor. Okay, he's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty good too. The Eagles, they're only favored by 4.5.
Yeah, that's
on the
scary.
road. That line's a little tricky because you have this Eagles team that I personally think they should rest Jalen Hurts because he's clearly hurt. And I at this point, the Giants, like, if you lose, it is what it is. But at the same time, they need this win at the same time because it's for the division essentially. Them and the Cowboys.
Yep.
So you can't afford to rest Jalen Hurts. They have to play him. I think the Giants could upset the Eagles. I do. They played them close They played them close last game. They got a good defensive unit, well coached. Dexter Lawrence, they got a pretty good pass rush. Secondary's not bad. I think they match up pretty well with the Eagles. The question is what does this Eagles offense look like, and what does the secondary for the Eagles look like? Because Tyrod Taylor, they got some weapons, and now they got some guys back. Give me the Giants on the upset.
I'm riding
Give me
it with
the G-men.
I'm riding it with you. I'm on the Giants. We need them to lose. We need the Eagles to lose. Give me the Giants today. 4.5. It is a wild number. And I know it's on the road and everything.
It's wild.
Giants, I mean, some of these teams in Week 18, it's like the Lions last year, man. Like, they're playing just for, like, pride at this point. And that right there, that's, like, what's kind of scary is teams will go out there and give everything. Some guys are playing for contracts. Some guys are playing for to be on the team next year. I think the Giants right now, to be honest, I'm not picking against the Giants. We need them to win. Remember, I don't lose. So if I pick the Eagles, I'm going against the city of Detroit here.
That's fair.
Give me the Giants.
What about you, Chris? Giants, Eagles.
You got to go to Giants, man. You got to. You got to, just off principle, off the strength. You got to stand on your business.
Yep.
So,
Mike,
I'm riding with the Giants.
Okay.
Let's go, G-Man.
All right, there you go. Next game here. We'll give a quick one for this one. Seahawks, Cardinals. I mean,
Seahawks got to do it.
Yeah, you'd assume so. Cardinals playing better, though. But I think the Seahawks, and Mike, you mentioned this to me on the way here, that Geno has an incentive to make the playoffs in his contract. Yep. But that's not the reason they're going to win, but I think the Seahawks are the better team. And I'm going to... Yep. I'm gonna go with them on the road.
I think they
here.
need a lot of help too. If they lose, I think they need like multiple teams to lose to get in.
How does it feel? How does it feel, Seahawks?
Yeah.
How does it fucking feel? You need some help to get in the playoffs. Sorry.
I don't think they get in, but I think they win this game. I'm with you on that.
All right, there you go. Next game. This one, and we'll skip the ones where guys are going to be resting. I mean, Chiefs, Chargers, who cares? Rams, 49ers, who gives a damn? Let's get to it. Cowboys, Commanders, and then we'll get to Bills and Dolphins. Cowboys, Commanders. I do think the Commanders and Sam Howell, it's been an interesting storyline for him. I'm rooting for this man to get 20 and 20. 20/20 vision, Sam Howell. I think it can happen. I think it'd be funny if it happened. Because right now in the season, he's got 20 touchdowns and 19 picks.
Oh, he's
20/20 vision, Sam Howell, baby. Come on. Come on, Boone. 1 TD, 1 pick this game. Come on. Give it to me. Cowboys still win, though.
Give me the Commanders. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. Sam Howell, he's playing for his job. How many times has he lost his job
So
this
that means that Sam Howell's going to win.
How many times has he lost his job this year?
Just to be clear.
Yeah, he's playing. Well, technically, he's playing for his job all year, and he has 4 wins. So,
okay,
I
but
mean,
this is his last go-around, or he's going to be a career backup going forward. Let this man cook.
Last chance
to play for your job.
Let this man cook. It was announced this morning Ron Rivera will be fired after the game, I'm pretty sure, or tomorrow, whatever it is. Get this man a good go off into the sunset. I can't pick the Cowboys. I don't lose. I have to. If I pick the Cowboys, they automatically win because I picked them. I have to go the Commanders.
Fair.
I have to.
What?
I have no choice here. I've been backed into a corner and just. You know.
Sam Howell's been sacked 227 times, and he's going against Micah Parsons. Like, what are we doing here?
Like, it's like, Booner, show me the path. Like,
people are
show
playing
me this
for their
path.
jobs, man.
This is not good recruiting.
This ain't the Booner path. Show me the path.
All right.
For 20/20 Sam Howell.
Why don't you just believe me and watch tonight?
What? Oh my God! Not the believe me later stuff.
Oh
now.
my
What are we
God.
doing? Okay.
Rip.
You know who you are.
Yeah, rip.
Chris, what do you think? Cowboys winning?
Cowboys are definitely winning. Like I want to be optimistic. I want to root for the Lions to get the 2 seed. That's partly behind the Giants, but the Giants is a way more realistic win than this team against the Cowboys. Bro, it's just not happening. I can't even fumble.
You got Chris disheveled right now because he's so appalled. All right, Mike, what do you think?
The Cowboys are winning that. The Commanders' secondary defense is just trash as a whole. I think the Cowboys are going to want to carry that momentum into the playoffs, so they're winning that.
Easy. That was just easy. Just Mike, cue the Undertaker.
Can we?
R.I.P. Hey, real quick.
Can we delete people's comments with the
was,
wrench? Can we delete people's comments with the wrench?
That easy. That comment. Ravens.
I don't think we can.
Yeah, okay. I'm not even.
Do we pin it? Is it valid?
I think I gotta pin it.
I like our pin pull right now.
I think you gotta pin it.
I don't know
if you guys don't get that joke, then you just don't get it. But regardless, let's get the last game out of the way here. Bills Dolphins for the division.
You already know where I'm going.
No Bradley Chubb. Dolphins, no Jalen Waddle. Where's your head at? Where's your head at, Booner?
You know where I'm going. Who did I pick to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC?
All right.
Who was my pick? Tell me.
Jesus.
Who was it? The Buffalo
I don't know
Bills.
anymore.
Nobody circles the wagons
is it-
like the Buffalo Bills, baby. Give me the Bills today. They win the division. They get the 2 seed, which means they'll have back-to-back playoff games at home. Give me the Buffalo Bills, man. It's crazy that a couple weeks ago, or I think they were like 2 or 3 games back in the division, and they've came from the grave, and now they're about to have a chance to win the division. If they lose this game, Jeff, this is how I know it's a lock for them to win today. If they lose this game, they most likely are out of the playoffs because they need a Jags loss. They are going to win the game outright. They're going to dominate the Dolphins tonight. They're going to go do that, and then they're going to go on a run, beat the Ravens, beat every team in the AFC, and go to the Super Bowl. And Josh Allen resurrects. He is back.
I'll tell you one thing. No, it was cool. I liked it. I like what you said, Booner.
Best in the league.
No.
100%.
No, I'm kidding.
Did you just 100% me?
No,
I think he.
Did you? I'm gonna have to.
He
I'm gonna come over there and
100%
beat you with that helmet.
100%ed you.
No, I'm kidding. I love you.
Nah,
I will
this
say.
is an
Can
issue.
I say
That was
this?
the top 500%.
Yeah,
That's an issue.
that was bad.
What about your Jags? How are you doing? Huh, buddy?
Okay.
Did you have the Jags in the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I had the 49ers and
Trevor Lawrence
the
MVP.
Bengals.
Oh, well, how's that going for you, buddy?
Well, Joe Burrow died.
Yeah,
but
my Super Bowl prediction's still alive. Yours is dead.
Is it who is it anymore?
The
is it the
start
Lions?
Of
I
the
don't
start
know
of
who
the
it
season.
is.
The start of the season when we all do our Super Bowl predictions in September. 49ers, Bills. Josh Allen wins his first Super Bowl. That was the start of my.
Oh, so the Lions aren't even.
Well,
so
no,
the Booner Path is literally
Booner
a
Path is
pyramid
different.
scheme.
We're not doing this right. It's
It
not.
is.
The
No,
Booner
no,
Path
no,
is
no.
a pyramid scheme.
Jeff, if you
Everyone drop
if you
L's in the
recruit
chat for
five-
Jeff right
if
now.
you recruit
Everyone
5
drop
friends,
L's in the chat for
and
Jeff
then
right
they
now.
get 5 friends. If
The
you
Booner
get 5
Path-
friends and they get 5
So I
friends,
just don't get to
and
talk
they all
on the
get
show
on the
anymore.
Booner Path,
I just don't get
it's
to
gonna
talk
work.
anymore. The Booner Path.
Easy, help me out.
The Booner Path is for years and years to come.
What did you say, Mike?
I said I knew you were gonna run with that.
The Booner Path is years and years to come. It's the next 2, 3, 4 years for the Detroit Lions. They
I
will
don't
win a
know
Super
anymore,
Bowl in the next
man.
couple years.
I mean, Booner talks. He says
that is the Booner Path.
says-
It's to win a Super Bowl.
he says they can make the Super
Detroit
Bowl
Lions,
while I have the Bills
You
and the
just want to
49ers.
hate. You just love
Oh
to
my
hate,
God,
Jeff.
bro.
You love to be on the other side and
Okay.
hate.
Gaslight.
Hey, everyone watching this right now, if you guys have faith in the Detroit
Gaslight.
Lions, don't let this guy Jeff gaslight all of you guys into thinking anything. Do not let Jeff do that.
Booner's gaslight.
Jeff is on the other side
He's
right
calling
now.
for an army. He's
I know,
calling for an
it's-
army.
Everyone drop L's in the chat for Jeff right now. He doesn't deserve. You know what? The signing day that I took for him for the 2024 Booner Path, it has been revoked. He has lost his
this
scholarship.
thing is a pyramid scheme.
He has lost
It
his.
is.
You have lost your scholarship. You are not allowed on the Booner Path in 2024.
I getting picked up.
That was disrespectful.
Booner's like, you tell 5 friends about the Booner Path, and then you tell 5
It's not
more
a pyramid
friends
scheme.
about
It's the Detroit Lions are here to stay, baby. That's what it is. The Detroit Lions. This is a long-term thing.
I cracked myself
This
up.
is a long-term thing. The Detroit Lions are here to stay.
All right, you know what?
And don't be surprised if they're in the Super Bowl versus the Bills.
So now they're in the Super Bowl. Which is it, Boone?
Don't be surprised if they're in the
my
Super
God,
Bowl
this guy's
versus
a-
the Bills.
he-
Because guess what? I've got my money on it. Do you? I'm sure you don't. You just got taken away. Take that hat off right now.
Dude,
Take
What?
that hat off.
You don't even have the Lions in the Super Bowl.
I put my money on it.
So they're in the Super Bowl.
I have my money on
So
it.
Booner, thanks for going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, shout out the pick.
See, I just
Kobe.
wanted you to admit
Shout
it.
out.
I just wanted you to admit they're going to the Super Bowl. That's all I wanted you to admit.
Jeff, they're plus like 1,700 to go to the Super Bowl or to win the Super Bowl. Me being like guaranteed they're gonna
So
but the
are they
Booner
going?
Path isn't a
I'm
guarantee.
lost again. See, it's
the
always
Booner
a
Path
repeat.
is not a guarantee. It is a light for it's a light for us. There's always a path. This team is here to
How
stay.
does anybody
the
else-
Lions are here to stay.
How does anybody else understand
because
what
they
he's saying?
understand that they're
It's
building
not a
something
guarantee,
special.
but it's also kind of a guarantee. But they're in the Super Bowl, but they're not in the Super Bowl.
Something
What
special
the
is
hell?
being built in Detroit right now. If you want to be off of it, go ahead. We're on it.
What do you mean off of it? I have a prediction. I gave my take already.
There's a prediction and
I
then
think they
there's,
win a
there's a
playoff game.
take. There's two different separate things.
Okay.
We talked about this last. We're not getting into this because I
All
will
right.
get mad and I'll probably run across this thing for all of the people right now. I will, if he keeps talking, I will run across this right now and I will tackle him off that chair.
That is assault.
That is what I am for you guys.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm
a man of the people.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm making you miss. You're not touching me.
Oh,
Booner, you're gonna have a face full of dirt. That's what's gonna happen.
You hitting him with the Gibbs?
Yeah, the Gibbs. Yep, that's
don't
exactly
forget,
what's
I'm
gonna
like
happen.
the water boy.
All this brewed from Jeff saying 100%.
Koke said Booner's
That is-
going to get
that is
diabetes from
kinda-
all that blue
that
Kool-Aid.
is-
I would love
The 100%.
That is low key
diabetes for a Super Bowl. I'll drink all the Kool-Aid I want.
That is disrespectful. I'll give it to you. The 100%. That is kind of disrespectful. If someone's like, yeah, 100%.
Shout out to all the people in the chat too. I love all of you guys so much. Lions in the next. Lions will be hosting this trophy right here within the next 2 seasons, guaranteed from Booner.
So now that's a guarantee.
That is a guarantee.
What is a guarantee and what's not?
This is a guarantee that this will be in Detroit within the next 2 seasons, and I guarantee you that.
What's the guarantee is if you get 5 friends.
Yeah, if you get 5 friends and they, I'll send them my Venmo, and then we'll all just kind of. This will be a huge operation.
Chuck Brewer said,
Turks and Caicos, baby.
Chuck Brewer said, Booner, please tackle the Fairweather part-time bandwagon fan Jeff out of his chair. I will if he keeps talking.
What is a bandwagon?
The best part about all of this is like you might be coming at me because I'm not guaranteeing it this year. The Detroit Lions are building a successful franchise right now. That they're going to be in the Super Bowl.
Pioneer when you say that.
They will be in the Super Bowl. No, I'm not.
Bro,
but
relax.
no one else wants to sit up here and tell the people that. We all want to talk about how they need to do this. No, this is in the next 4 or 5 years they'll be in the Super Bowl multiple times and they'll win a Super Bowl.
Booner,
that is a guarantee.
Are you delusional? Are you delusional? Like I'm asking you, are you delusional?
I'm not, but I'm just saying the facts.
You're not the only person to
Jeff,
say the Lions are building something special. Trademarked Booner.
If it's
They're
that
building
easy,
something special.
Jeff, if it's that easy, why haven't you done it yet?
I've said it 1,000 times.
Where at? Show me.
What do you mean show you?
Show me.
I'm on air for 2 hours every day during the week.
Hey, show me.
What are you talking? Okay. Booner's the only human to ever say the Lions are building something special. Noted. All right, let's go to break. We come back. We'll get to our score predictions because it's time. It's the end of the show. We'll get to it and then we'll get out of here. Before I do that though, we got to give our takes for the Bills Dolphins. I'm gonna go Bills. Bills.
I'm going the Bills too.
And Josh Allen needs a TD, right?
Yes, Josh Allen ties the franchise record if he rushes for a touchdown. So I'm gonna sprinkle that a little bit, but I got the Bills. They've been playing really well.
All right, there you have it. We'll be right back. We'll see you guys in a little bit. You're tuning into the Detroit Lions pregame show. More mom and dad fighting. Shout out to our friends over at Bullseye Event Group and Long Drake. See you in a second.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah. Nothing. G-G-G-G-A. Oh, sorry, I forgot. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy. I think we need to get you a pick.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
What up, though, people? We are back live at the official Lions VIP tailgate presented by Bullseye Event Group. And Lions fans are already rocking, man. We got one. I think it's a little bit of a special day. It's kind of a double dip for you. The Lions game and a birthday. Tell the people your name and where you're from.
I'm Sean Mullen. I'm from Harrison Township, Michigan. Excited to enjoy this day with the Lions, and I hope it's a victory.
Hey, we know it's going to be a victory, right? We know. We know it's going to be a victory here. Man, shout out Long Drink as well. I see you're representing.
The new peach flavor is great. Love the new peach flavor.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Look, who are you expecting today to have a big game for the Lions? Offense or defense? Who are you expecting? Anybody? What, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff maybe?
All right, we'll go golf.
We'll go golf. That's what's up. Now, since we've already predicted a Lions victory, you got to tell me what that final score will be. I hope it's a blowout now.
Ooh. That's a lot of pressure. January 7th. I don't know. We'll go 17 and what? What do you think?
17-3, you think?
All right.
Hey, she's predicting an all-out defensive beatdown by the Detroit Lions, man. I love it. Once again, happy birthday to you, and I'm hoping you have a great day. I'm hoping the Lions give you a good birthday gift today.
They're going to do it. I believe in them. Hey. All my life I've been waiting for this.
Can I get a go Lions?
Go Lions!
Let's go. Back to you all. What up, though, people? It's your boy Brandon Dent, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, and we are live at the Bullseye Event Group official Lions VIP tailgate. You guys can hear the music. You guys see the fans, man. It is jumping out here. And I'm with one of Detroit's, I call them legends, man, Ryan Ermanni. I love the fit, too, man, the gold blue and the Lions blue.
Kool-Aid, I got my Lions here. I got my Michigan here. The next 24 hours, next 36 hours, some of the biggest football that we have had here in a long, long time. I mean, even for the Lions, usually this time of year, we're talking about, well, if they lose today and New Orleans loses, they'll get a top 5 draft pick. Not the case. There's so much going on here. Then obviously tomorrow night with the Michigan game, lots of excitement to be a football fan in the state of Michigan.
I am so pumped up. He got me even more pumped up right now, man. It's like go blue, go Lions, one pride. First things first, the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings today. I got to hear your take on the Detroit Lions offense and the Detroit Lions defense today. What's the game plan?
I want to play a clean game, and I do think it's important to win this game. The Detroit Lions, we all know the stats by now. They haven't lost back-to-back games this season. If they can win today, it would be the first time since 1972 that they've gone through an entire season without losing back-to-back games. And I do think it is important for this football team to go in with momentum, to go into the playoffs with a win. You don't want to go into the playoffs with 2 straight losses. Whether or not this game means anything to Detroit, quote-unquote, the number 2 seed, not impossible, but improbable. I just think that it's very important for the Lions to play a good, clean football game, run the football, get Jared Goff going a little bit, and see how this defense reacts to C.J. Gardner-Johnson being back in the lineup, Aleem McNeil back in the lineup. So all of these things I think are so important for this team as they head into the postseason.
I love hearing that because as they get healthy, they can also put themselves on a hot streak right now. Obviously, to be one game, I still feel like they won that Dallas game, man. I still feel like that. But going into the playoffs, to be able to get healthy, to be able to finally beat one of your NFC North division opponents 2 times because they split with all of the other opponents, I just think it'll be good. And the key to this game, you said it best, clean football. When the Lions play clean football, they genuinely win. I need to know, though, who's your player of the game and what's your final score prediction?
I think my player of the game today is Jahmyr Gibbs. I think this is a Gibbs game. He was so successful against the Vikings last time around. I think it's going to be like that again. I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs, 12 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, player of the game.
Let's go. And what's that final score? Let's get that, too.
I'm going to go 30-17 Lions.
I love the blowout score predictions, man. And I really believe that this is a game where the Detroit Lions go and they absolutely enforce their will on the Minnesota Vikings, man. This is that one where the NFC North division banner, I said it earlier, it's hanging up there. The fans are going to walk in and see that there for the first time today. They're going to be rocking. We already know how Detroit does. And I believe the Lions are going to feed off their energy. They're going to feed off C.J. Gardner-Johnson being back, as you stated as well. And I think they're just going to go out there and handle business, man. Ryan, any last words for the people?
Yes. This Bullseye Event Group tailgate is lit, man. All you can eat food, all you can eat drinks. Come on, baby. We're not going dry January. We're going damp January. Damp January.
Love you, brother, man. Yo, back to you guys at the studio.
We're back. Detroit Lions pregame show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to Brandon Dent. He's great
Shout
at what
out
he does.
Kool-Aid,
And then
man.
Ryan Ermanni, of course. Lions,
Ermanni.
baby. Let's give our score predictions out. Booner, I'll start with you. How do you see it playing out? Give me a score.
I have the Lions in the 30s here. I think they win by at least double digits. I'm
Okay.
just going to go. I Woodward Knights, I said 37. I'm going to go 34. I'm going to go 34-24.
So you're changing it?
I am, yeah. I'm going to go just because when I did that prediction, there's multiple field goals within that. I don't think they get that many field goals. I think it's more touchdown. I don't know what's so funny over there.
I'm just being Mike.
This is getting out of control here. We're doing a show,
I don't
Jeff.
know,
We're doing a show here.
What, are you scared?
No, I'm not. We're doing a show here. Detroit Lions are winning 34-24 today.
All right.
Vikings are only scoring 24.
Why not
because
37-24?
Vikings are only scoring 24 because on the back end, they're going to get some late touchdowns, garbage time touchdowns like the Packers did earlier this year. I like the Lions to win 34-24. Jeff, you're on the show. Be professional.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just kidding.
What would Dan Campbell say right now?
No, I'm messing with you.
See
Booner.
this right here?
I'm messing with you.
Have some, Jeff.
No, I actually love the hat. I do. The hat's,
Well, maybe you should read it and have some of that.
I'll give my score 30-17. So we're not too far off. 30-17.
Why not more? Only 30?
Hey, I'm consistent. Chris, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go 28-20. 28-20 Lions.
Okay. All right. BMG, what do you think?
28-17 Lions. 28-17.
Okay.
I didn't know if my mic was muted.
I was He's just Booner. I love you, Booner. You're the only one Booner. There's only one of them.
I love everyone.
Let's
all
let's
the
get
people,
out of here.
First show, I think I've had a lot of people hating on me. I love all of you guys. It's just as much as I love the people on the path.
It's fair. People put in their final score predictions. Charles says Lions 38, Vikings 20. Corbin, Lions win 24-10. Aaron Richardson 31-17. Let's see here. Bruce M 38-10. Christopher says Lions win 31-17. Mr. Ray 31-24. Lions win. Chuck Brewer says 84-0. Booner, do you agree?
I love that.
Okay.
Give it to me.
I'll run it by you. Eric Allen 38-24. Eric Allen he went 38.
That's high.
I don't know what's funny at this point.
I'm just saying.
I think you're just
he had the balls to pick 38.
Yeah, he did. He picked 37 or higher, and he stood by it.
100%.
All right, you know what? Give it to me. 37-24.
There you go, Boo.
Give me the boys.
Yes,
37-24.
There you go, Boo.
Can't say nothing now, huh, Jeff?
No, I can't.
I got grit. You don't.
Can't tell me nothing.
You can't tell him nothing. All right, let's see. Let's get to Vincent says 34-24. Brandon says 30-13. Wild West says 72-3. Steve Lehman 31-17. Jay 37-13 Lions. Issa says 31-10 Lions. Drew says 74-17. There you go. All right, we'll get out of here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in a ton. Don't forget, you can check me out, Morning Woodward Show, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. weekdays. Woodward Nights, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. weekdays.
Shout out the boys, man.
BMG's on Big D Energy, 11 to 1 weekdays. And, of course, Chris Platte from the Heavyweights, 5 to 7 weekdays. We appreciate you guys. Detroit Lions pregame show. Lions, Vikings. I cannot wait till next weekend. It's playoffs. It's playoffs. It's going to be a lot of fun to preview that. We'll be back next week for another pregame show.
Yep.
God bless. Have a great one. Enjoy today. And tune into the watch party. We'll be chilling here in studio, watching the game, breaking it down live, seeing if these bets hit. Maybe we can make some change. Until then, see you guys. Have a great day. Go Lions.
Love you guys.
Catch you later.
What the fuck?
Special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.